am.
Oh, there. Yes, there you are.
Sorry.
There.
I'm
So
hiding out of the view of the
I
camera.
mentioned to Aaron there's a breaking news story locally. So
All right. So what is it?
lay it on us. What do you got?
Breaking news for what? Sorry.
Wait, what?
Local celebrity.
What was the big story you were telling me
Oh,
about?
yes. I thought there was something else that might have happened this morning that I didn't even know about.
Mm.
I'm like, oh,
Doubtful.
Blake is on it.
Doubtful.
Yes. So yesterday, the opposition decided to file a motion of no confidence against the government.
Mm-hmm.
So what this means is they're basically trying to unseat the government. And of course, their what are we calling it? Their attempts will not be successful unless they have the support of some of the PAC members. So this has raised a lot of questions about why they're doing it and what they are hopeful that they will be able to accomplish.
So why do you think they're doing it? Does this have
Because
anything?
they're power hungry. That's the why.
Does this have anything to do with the speaker situation or completely?
Well, they just are trying to seize this as an opportunity, which is so ironic because, the last time the speaker was, in trouble,
Mm-hmm.
He did far worse, and they stood by and did nothing. And not only did they do nothing, but they actually called an early election so that they would not be facing the same fate, which is a vote of no confidence. So it's not directly in relation to him. Like, that's not the reason that they've listed. So they've listed like 14 things, which we're going to go through this morning.
Mm-hmm.
But they have attempted to, on the back end politically, use this situation to their advantage.
Which at this point we should all be unified in the greater cause of people being, having more morals and holding themselves to a higher standard.
So. Yeah. You would think so, but
absolutely,
a lot of people power trumps morals any day, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I saw that Justice Margaret Ramsey Hill.
Yes, congratulations,
Chief Justice.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Friend of our show.
She is a friend.
Chief Justice. Yeah. And somebody said she is the quote unquote man for the job.
Wow.
She's definitely the woman for the job and the man for the job. But yeah, congratulations to her.
She's the person for the job.
She is very good at what
she's the person for the job. Well done.
Yeah.
And in other news, did you guys see the stowaway iguana?
Yes.
The blue iguana? Did you guys see that story? It was so weird because
that the iguana was.
Listen, CMR just happened to be involved in that situation a little bit.
What?
Stowed away from where? From Little Cayman or?
No, from the Botanic Park.
Yeah.
So on what is today? Thursday. On Tuesday, we got a message saying that there's a blue iguana at this location. I was like, what? And the person sent the picture and I looked at it and I'm like, sure enough, it does look like a blue iguana.
Yeah.
And so we posted it, sent out an alert. Of course, we didn't want to say where the location was because we didn't want anybody trying to grab the blue iguana. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I mean, we posted it at 11:43 in the morning, and literally within minutes, both the National Trust and the Department of Agriculture, they were like, where is this iguana? We need to go for him right now. Because it was quite obvious that indeed he was a blue iguana.
That's crazy.
And they went and got him, tagged him and took him away. And sure enough, as it turns out, he was a stowaway from the Botanic Park. He got away. He hitched a ride in a van.
Wow.
So
you should probably check your car too if you go.
Wow.
Those things so it's probably a service van, but
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know how I don't know where he was hidden there, but he made the ride all the way.
It sounds like a Disney movie or a Pixar.
I know,
movie.
right?
but like, why would you want to leave the Botanic Park?
I love it there.
That's
so
like
much.
such an amazing house or home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was up for a new adventure.
Yeah.
He's like, I've seen the whole
park. Where are you going that's better than the Botanic Park, Blue Iguana?
Yeah.
Seriously.
And if there's anyone out there that hasn't been to the Botanic Park lately, I'm telling you, it is just, it's phenomenal. It's fun for the kids as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we gotta go.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's a pretty interesting story. It's pretty cool.
All right.
Thank you for all the agencies that stepped up and made sure that he got back safely.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that's going to be a big topic this morning on your show about this whole government thing.
Politics.
So catch that starting on Bobo coming up in 2.5 minutes on Bobo 89.1 FM. We'll see you tomorrow for the Friday headline.
Yes, Friday. Absolutely.
Already.
All right. Take care.
I know. Have a good one.
Our segment with CMAR.
All right, folks, let's get started. Buenos dias. 2 minutes, actually, 2 minutes. Let's enjoy the national song, which will be the only peace and quiet you'll probably get this morning.
Peppermint, sorrel, ginger, fever grass, or English. Get it ready. Your morning tea just got hotter.
Ooh, honey child.
On the cold, hard truth. Bobo 89.1 and Cayman's #1 talk show are bringing you morning talk like no one else. Monday Rewind, Impact Wednesdays, Caribbean Connections, and much more. Don't miss a beat with what's happening in the local community. Just keep sipping your tea.
What a mess.
Here's your host, live and direct from the Cayman Islands, Sandy Hill.
Folks, good morning. Happy Thursday. Can you believe it? It is Thursday already. Hope you guys are having a fantabulous day. Well, we're here to talk about donkeys of politics. Give me one quick second here, good people. I was up into the wee hours of the night, actually on the laptop, trying to put down some notes and put down my thoughts and do a little bit of research because woo, the donkeys of let me see here now. I need to send myself a document from the laptop that I can then pull up here. Yes, honey child. The donkeys of that's not the one. The donkeys of politics. They be trying to fool y'all with the hee-haw. Remember when I used to have my little donkey sound? I need to find that on the board. I don't think I have it anymore. I got to find it because clearly I need that sound this morning. How are you guys doing? All right, good stuff. Let me make sure that it sends itself. There we go. All righty, good, beautiful people. What's going on? I got my tea, water, some apples and cantaloupe for breakfast. And I got this big jug of water. I'm supposed to drink 2 of these, and I got to tell you, Lord have mercy. It's a challenge, but I'm not giving up. Every day I start over. Every day, some days are better than others, and it's a constant. So here we go. All right. So where do we begin? Well, let's have some general thoughts while I open up this other document. And then we can kind of, let's download this one. We're calling it Politrix because that's most appropriate for what we have to discuss. So let me just send the link to everyone. Don't forget, folks, if you want to join our WhatsApp group, you can do so. You get all the links for everything, all the news stories and the works. So let me just see if I've already sent this to myself. So in the morning, we always send you the link because some people they're like just waiting for us to send the link. They're like, oh, I can't be bothered waiting for Facebook to send me anything. You just send it. So we definitely will do that. And then they can log on. So how is everyone? Let me just check in. How y'all doing? Let me see. How my people? We have Miss Vernita, straight out of the barn. We have June. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Diamond Princess, Corrine. Alex has got it locked. Hey, Alex. The rat race, says Alex. It's more like a donkey race. I'm pretty sure I didn't save my little donkey thing, but I do need me a hee-haw. 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 Don't worry, I'm gonna get my donkey on here before I'm gonna get my jackass before it's all done. Siobhan, Marshall, Brother Tommy, Olivia, Vicky says hot Thursday morning, Sandy. Don't send up your blood pressure. You don't think I should double up on a blood pressure tablet today? Actually, you know what? I was reading something. I want to share this with y'all in more detail, but this headline says daily breath training can work as well as medicine to reduce high blood pressure. So, child, I just need to learn how to meditate and breathe. Yes, honey child. Morning, Gabby. Miss Beulah's here. Remy says, rise and shine. Alice, morning to you. Gabby says the petty progressives are at it again, Sandra. Let's hear the tea. Oh, they sure are. Oh my God. Am I the only only person I should say, who's really sick and tired of them now? I mean, honestly, it's getting so old. Ugh. All right. Before I begin this conversation, morning, Evelyn and Scott. Let me just give a big shout out to David Ebanks over at Prodigy Jewelers. You guys know that David is the man when it comes to getting anything fixed that you need, jewelry wise or purchasing, very unique Cayman pieces. So you guys will remember the bit of a situation where I lost my coat of arms and then I ended up finding it some weeks later in my briefcase, and I don't even know how it got in there, but somehow it came off of the what it was attached to. And so when I lost it, I told you guys about it, and I told David, and he was like, "What? How did you manage to do that?" So anyway, unbeknownst to me, David had began already making me a new one, and he custom makes my pieces. I have to tell you, he always does a little bit something special for me, which I absolutely love and appreciate. And so when I found it, and I was like, I found it, he's like, oh. So anyway, let me show you guys what he's done. Go check David. He makes all kind of beautiful things. And I know not everybody's into jewelry necessarily, but he's got watches, and I don't think women ever complain about getting a little piece of bling, It's never a bad gift. So, and I love my country. Progressives, are you guys paying attention over there? Did you hear what I just said? I said, I love my country. All right, look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? He added a little extra bling for me at the top there. Look at that. And then in the back, it's engraved with Sandra Hill, CMR. Look at that. He has founded it upon the seas. Oh my gosh. Is this not beautiful? Absolutely gorgeous. So before I even left the store yesterday, I posted it and people were calling him, oh, I want that. And he says, well, Sandy gets custom made pieces. So you can get the coat of arms and we can do other stuff for you. But, she kind of gets a little extra here and there. Oh my goodness. He's made me a CMR logo. He has done my flag for me, the Cayman flag. I only wear that when I'm really like feeling extra patriotic, which happens. Omiria says, I'm here straight out of Georgetown. Girl, I'm straight out of patience for the progressives, but we're going to break it down here today. All right, let's talk politics. Shall we get started? Morning, Richard, Celine and Richie. KK is like, we're here for it. Christopher says he loves it. So yes, I am wearing it this morning. Thank you very, very much. Karen and Wee Wee, Marshall is also here. Give David a jingle. He's there in the village at Prodigy Jewelers and Repairs. Let's talk. Where do we begin? First of all, I was really a bit pissed off yesterday. Like legit, not happy. And I think a lot of people are very much aware that when I'm not happy, y'all know I am a communicator. When I'm not happy, you just got to hear it. Oh, my poor husband, he's like, oh, Lord, tell me about it. If I don't get to say what I got to say, there's going to be trouble in the world, right? Hence probably why I'm sitting here having a show and talking to y'all every morning. Anybody else like this? Anybody else needs to talk it through? It's just one of those things where I can't hold it in. I think holding it in ends up killing you in the end, you know? That's when you have the heart attacks and whatever. When you have a moment, and sometimes, listen, that moment is like kind of popping off. Like, WTF? Are you guys crazy? Blah, blah, blah. But, you know, it's just words. My moment is never beating people up. Let me be very clear now. Don't y'all be confusing me with other people. My crown is well placed. So I don't get physical with people and that sort of thing. I don't go around punching walls and beating people up in bars and all this kind. No. I might curse you out. So, you know, the mouth don't join church. So I might tell you about your backside and that sort of thing. And then I walk away and I'm like, oh, I feel better already. So yesterday was kind of one of those days. I'm like, it's a good thing that Alden ignores all my messages. Well, I don't message him anymore. I'm like, can't even waste my little finger typing. Because, honey child, the things that I would have to say to that man, but I reckon he doesn't care. The last time I messaged him, I think I told him off the last time I messaged him too, to think of it. Let me see, Alden. Oh, yes, I did. Well, no, I was inviting him to participate in the nomination day if he wanted to. But I think February 25th of 2021, before the election, that's when I kind of told him off about himself. So I said, this is what I said to Alden at 11:47 a.m. I said, I know it pains you to include CMR in information you're trying to get out to the public, but one day you will understand, number one, we will always get it anyway. This is so appropriate. Number two, if you really want to be transparent and reach the people, you're wasting good money on other foolishness. That was February the 25th of 2021. So here we go. Poor Alden. He never got the memo. So let me tell you a little bit of something first before we go. Somebody says, do I bite him when I'm upset? No, honey child, I've never bitten anybody in my life. First of all, that's so, that's like so germy. Like who bites someone? That's just disgusting. That's next level crazy. Let me talk a little bit about information, because y'all know that I am the queen of information in this country. And some of you are so salty that I get so much information that you're always like, oh, Sandy must be getting it from the premier. She must be getting it from Kenneth. She must be getting it from, I don't know who else you accuse, Jesus. Baby Jesus gives her the information. People from the dad is giving Sandy information. Y'all just are next level crazy with being overly concerned with where I get my information. It is a little bit funny in a way, Because a lot of times you're accusing the wrong people. Not a lot of times, 99% of the time, you're accusing the wrong person of even giving me information. But it's interesting. And I get all of that too, you know? And so all I do, folks, is I pay attention and I do listen a lot. For as much as I talk, the information does not come to me if I'm not listening. So my ears are always to the ground, and it's just so ironic how information does come to me. I'll give you an example without revealing too much information. So recently, someone said to me, "Oh, I see this person, two people coming out of a certain building, two political people. And I wonder if they were going to see this lawyer." And right away, you know, people are creatures of habit. So I'm like, no, there's no lawyer that they're going to see, because one of those individuals, he only deals with one particular lawyer in Ireland. Everybody knows that. So I said, nope, something else is amiss here. And of course, within 30 seconds, I knew exactly who they were meeting with. And then, you know, from there, you can just make your mind wander. Anyway, as it turns out, information, and I was saying this to someone this morning, always has a way of coming full circle. Nothing is done in the dark that stays in the dark, because nothing is ever really done in the dark. You might not be shining a whole lot of light on a situation, but I can assure you that people talk. That's why the police, when they're trying to solve a case, you know, you hear what they say to you. They say, well, if you know of anything, you come forward and you share it with us, because anybody who knows that you committed a crime, they're going to talk to the dog, the cat, their sister, somebody else. Most people can't hold water. This is the God's truth. It's just not possible. Right? Thank you, Eden. Keep sending the links. Actually, send them to me on WhatsApp, because we're going to dig deep into the progressives this morning. They are a bunch of jokers. So when y'all hear me sharing stuff on this platform, because y'all need the truth, don't be wondering about my sources and where I get my information from. Just leave that alone. All right. That's the first thing I wanted to say this beautiful Thursday morning. The next thing I wanted to say is that, as it turns out, the progressives are far more duplicitous than I even thought. You know that somebody cannot disappoint you in life if you never had any expectations of them. Y'all are aware of this, right? And it's always so strange, because in my personal life, when I always see people like posting stuff like, oh, I don't have any expectations, people. And I'm like, who lives their life without expectations? Especially in your personal life, you must expect better of yourself, your spouses, your children, your family, because then that kind of means that they have something to esteem too, something to work towards. In the world of politics, my expectations are pretty low. And I must tell you, when it comes to the progressives, as someone who has been on the inside of that party, and I have seen their shenanigans, I am telling you, my expectations are rock bottom. They cannot disappoint me, because I have zero expectations of them, especially under the leadership of Alden McLaughlin. Notice what I said. Under the leadership of Alden McLaughlin, not the leadership of Roy McTaggart, because Alden McLaughlin is still very much in control. The changeover that they had was changeover for optics only, to look good, that he's not going to stay as the party leader forever, because he can't stay as premier forever. But he is like premier apparent, you know, in the background, he is still running the show. He is still telling Roy what to do and what moves they're going to make. Poor old Roy. He kind of politically not as savage as Alden. Alden is a political beast, and I don't mean that in a good way. I wonder if his parents would be proud of him. All the horse trading and shenanigans he's up to. His poor parents, probably rolling in their graves, honey child. But you know, even despite their savagery, is that right word I'm looking for? They're not without help. And I'm going to tell y'all how they're doing it. So a couple days ago, someone said to me, "Hey, Sandy, do you know this lady by the name of Lucille Moore? M-O-U, Moore, I think is how she'd pronounce it." And I said, "Who? I don't know who she is." And they said, "Oh." That's all they need to say to me, honey child, because then you know my little finger's looking her up. And I'm going to show y'all who this woman is. And I started to do some digging. And then I knew why they were asking the question. Because normally people ask me such questions for a reason. And I have a relationship with people, certain people. When they ask me a question, I don't need to know very much more than the question. Because the question alone makes me know that I need to start looking. Take a good look at this woman, and I'm going to tell you what this is all about. You see her? Here's a picture of her here. Here's a picture of her hair. This is the brains behind the operations over at the Progressives. Y'all pay attention now. As our good friend Andre Stevens would say over in Jamaica, class is in session. I need y'all to be A students this morning. Front row students, pay attention. Who is this woman? Most of the Caymanian people have never heard of her. That's because y'all don't know what the Progressives is really up to. You have no clue. She's a former Minister of Information, Broadcasting, and Public Affairs, former Senator Lucille Moore. Barbados. They got rid of her. You guys know the illustrious Prime Minister of Barbados? Fired and got rid of this woman. Why? Duplicitousness. Money hungry. And she sees a bunch of similarly minded people in the Cayman Islands who can be taken advantage of. You imagine that Caymanians would allow other people to come into our country to dictate to us how we're going to run and operate politics in this country? People who are no example whatsoever? Listen to this headline from the Caribbean Life paper back in October of 2018. This is the first paragraph. An opposition Barbados Labour Party, that's BLP, snub a British political consulting company, Cambridge Analytica, had, unknowing to her, earned Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley and a colleague a racial slur. This is the mix-up that they're in their country. Mottley was on the opposition benches and leader of the party when in 2010, the racially charged insult was made in reference to this woman who in May 2018 became this island's leader, and Lucille Moore, who in June was appointed a senator. Oh, she's an all kind of mix up in her own country. Y'all can Google her, go look her up. So she has a consulting company because now that they've gotten rid of her, she believes that she's the cat's meow with politics. And this is who the Progressive has had on the ground for a long time, using her, my apologies, and her company as a consultant, got her on the payroll, using hard-earned money raised in the Cayman Islands from their political shenanigans to pay this woman. Y'all ready for the truth? Are y'all really ready for the truth this morning? Wow. There's a lot of hot mess in their country. We can't even get into it because I'm not into Barbados politics. I don't care what they're doing over there. I care that they have now, and this isn't the first time the progressive has done this, and they're not the only ones who have done it, importing people to meddle in Cayman affairs. That explains the savagery which they are currently operating. Let me mute the WhatsApp stream because y'all so shocked. You're already starting to message me. You cannot believe it. Somebody comment Alden is under Kurt Tibbetts. Let me be very, very clear. Alden does not have anywhere near the political savvy or the integrity that Kurt Tibbetts has or had as a politician. When I tell you all that I was there, I know. Alden could not even talk to you, the people. He was so afraid of people. When he first got into politics, I was wondering if there was something wrong with him. I'm like, this dude is on the Asperger's scale somewhere. His people skills or something that's off with Alden McLaughlin. But boy, Kurt Tibbetts worked overtime as his lodge brother, his Lions brother, his this, his that. Took him into people's homes. Alden, you must sit down with the people. You must eat out of their pot. They're going to give you some rabbit and you eat it and you don't turn up your face. Sit down and play dominoes with them. He needs to thank Kurt Tibbetts. I don't know if the rest of us will be thanking him based on what Alden has turned out to be, but he needs to thank Kurt Tibbetts for his political career and how he's been able to ride the people of the Cayman Islands like the proverbial donkey all of these years and have some of y'all so smitten and so fooled that you think he's the cat's meow. Meow. He's not. This lady here is who they have brought in. How much do you think she's getting paid? Well, let's see what she's been up to. Y'all love y'all a Mia Motley. This is a woman who speaks the truth. Like I tell y'all, she got a big PR machinery. Here's what her good friend Lucille Moore had to say about her. She says, I have become afraid of Mia Motley. What? I am afraid of her. She has the right to share her opinion on how she views her former friend of over 50 years, but this is really sad. Look down at the bottom. Hold on now. To our radio listeners, I'm going to read it to you. When people have to be held to account or can't have their way, they lash out. This is how in their own media, they are exposing this Lucille Moy. Listen up. Listen to me, people. When people have to be held to account or can't have their way, they lash out. How many of you have had a disagreement with a friend only to find out that that friend revealed your innermost secrets to your enemies? Woo! This is who the progressives is using as a consultant? Yes, it is. All sport aside, that person could have never been a friend. Hashtag the Chase Files. Hashtag politics. Hashtag frenemies. Hashtag hurt people. Hashtag saddened to friendships. Sad end, my apologies, to friendships. This is this woman. Betray her own people. Betrayed Mia Motley. And this is who I tell you today. I stand before you and tell you that the progressives is using as their consultant. And my dear, she is in it thick as a thief in the night, trying to steal your poor little donkey. Oh, y'all don't know? Learn, wake up, Caymanians. There are those of you who sit down and talk about, oh, this country, this one, progressives versus PAC government versus this versus that. You're entitled to your opinion. But what I'm telling you is when we invite people who are just in it for the money in our midst, we are going to have problems. You think they care anything about the Cayman Islands? Y'all should know better. But in case you don't know better, let me tell you, it's just about the money grab. They don't care about Cayman politics. UDP had their set of consultants out of Jamaica, didn't really do too well. They totally screwed up the election before last. You know what is so funny? Apparently, I was an influencer before I even knew that I was an influencer, because they called me in. They're like, oh, we know you got the pulse of people. This is before CMR. Because remember, CMR started in the end of June 2017. The election was in May. So we started after that election. They called me in. I remember going to, what's the name of that place there in West Bay Road? Grand Pavilion. That's where they had their headquarters set up. And they made me go through the whole list of candidates. Like, oh, miss, we understand that you've got the pulse of the country, blah, blah, blah. Is this one getting into? And I went through and told them all the people who were going to lose their seat. And as it turns out, I was 98% accurate. Missed 2. I was picking Jonathan. And I was a little surprised that Jonathan won. My apologies, Jonathan Piercy lost, but he didn't lose by much. Everybody else that they had on the list, I said, nope, this one's going to lose it. That's when the UDP fell from grace, for sure. They were done. And these people like, miss, you called it. And I said, yeah, okay. They have been paying people for a long time to come into this country and tell them how to operate politically and what to do. Every single election cycle, they bring in these so-called consultants to go around polling you. Some of y'all got phone calls during the last election calling you, who would you be voting for? That's how they knew Tara Rivers was done. The people said, we're not voting for her. Get rid of her. And so they made a strategic move to pay her out, put her in a nice, cushy job. Politics, people. There's so much duplicity. And not everything you see is as it appears. People are going to try to fool you with their silver-lined tongues and their snake, I don't even know what to call it, serpent jelly or whatever that they're trying to sell you, snake oil. My Caymanians, do not be fooled. I'm here to open your eyes today. But ultimately, it is up to you if your eyes will truly be opened. Set aside the acronyms for a minute of PPM and PAC. People are people no matter where you go. And people have an amazing way of revealing their true selves. As Aunt Lottie used to say, Sandra, just give them enough rope and time. Time is the master revealer of all things. If you are not who you say you are, you cannot keep up the facade forever. At some point, you will be revealed. And some of y'all in the world of politics are doing a lot of revealing this week, including even some people on the PAC side. The progressives have consistently demonstrated to us who they are. And yet there are those of you who refuse to believe them. I don't know why. So this morning, we're going to get a history lesson. As Eden has rightfully said, lest we forget. Eden, I got so many links here, but you send all your links as well, and we're going to get through it. When someone calls on somebody else to be held accountable, you know, I had to chuckle yesterday morning when, I don't know if y'all missed it, but if you did, go back and listen to the show, YouTube, Facebook, you can find it. When the honorable and esteemed Dr. Linford came on the program, and he was getting a little salty with me, telling me to shut up and that people who live in glass houses, I had to chuckle for a little bit. I must tell you, I did find it a little bit humorous. Because I thought to myself, does Mr. Pearson actually think, number one, that we don't all live in a glass house to some extent? And then when people say that, that means that you are up to something, apparently, right? So I guess Linford thinks I'm up to something. I don't know what that something is. That you don't want exposed because somebody starts throwing rocks at you, your glass house is going to shatter. And I thought about it for a minute and I said, no, honey child, I don't live in a glass house. I live in a house of some good, solid concrete and bricks. Now, to his point, no one is ever standing here, well, not on this show, and talking about they're perfect and they're without fault. Not me. I'm probably, I wouldn't say the most flawed person in the world because God, like I said to someone yesterday, even the worst things that I have done in my life doesn't shine up, a candle to these guys. I mean, really? And they have the audacity to say to me, oh, don't be careful when you live in a glass house. I'm like, really? Y'all think people forget? You know how many people are messaging me after the show and say, Sandy, try and tell these people to hush. It wasn't you shooting at your ex with a gun. It wasn't you beating up women and all this other stuff that these men have done for years and gotten away with it because our Cayman society is so slack. And then they jump up one day, oh, I'm a Christian today. I found the Lord. And then you must forgive all. Yeah, right. Maybe we the biggest donkeys because we keep letting them ride us into the proverbial sunset. But they don't fool me, I just sit back and I'm like, oh, honey child, who you think you're talking to? I'm going to pray for you today, brother, because you definitely need some prayers. We have to be on our toes when you're dealing with the likes of Lucille Moore, who is a consultant to the progressives. They're already dirty, and she's added a new degree of political dirtiness to them. Strategist, she's a political strategist. She's an expert. She knows what she's doing. What they're trying to do right now, anybody thinks it's a coincidence that here we are with McKeeva Bush misbehaving yet again, because he can't help himself. This government, the premier and others are saying, nope, we're not going to put up with it this time, Mac. You got to go. Even the governor for the first time, you got to go. And what does the progressives do at a time like this? They don't get together with the government. I'm going to have to put on my hair today because I'm feeling a little bit hot. They don't get together with the government and say, yes, we agree that Mac has to go. You notice they haven't even really said that. What they have said is, oh, now we're going to call a vote of no confidence because they understand the political quicksand and the uncertainty a little bit of what's happening. I bet you right now, if the premier called a session of parliament, put them all to a vote of no confidence against the speaker, let's see how many progressive members are going to stand up and do the right thing. They think they're fooling people. So they come out of the bushes with this vote of no confidence, which we're going to be examining here in a minute, to try and fool the people because they now understand. If McKeeva resigns, okay, that's one thing. He might leave semi-happy because McKeeva not leaving without having something in his hand. West Bay, where is he? West Bay North? West Bay West. Y'all need to wake up. I'm telling you, those of you who have gone to bat for this man, you need to wake the hell up. He might have done a lot for people and a lot for this country, but ultimately self-serving and self-centered. He got to get something out of leaving. I'm not asking anybody. I'm telling you. What it's going to be, we'll eventually find out, I'm sure. He's not stepping down for the right reasons. He's not stepping down because, as he said, oh, this thing, blah, blah, blah. He has given you his word to step down. And today is Thursday, October the 22nd, almost a week after he said he would step down. Why doesn't the clerk of parliament yet have his letter? You want to know why? Because he is a friggin' devil and he is duplicitous. Y'all hear me this morning? I don't care. He is who he is. And the sooner we all accept it, and the sooner West Bay West gets them a new MP, the better off y'all are going to be. Can I get an amen up in here from somebody? Where's my little amen button?
Praise the Lord.
It's as simple as that. If he had good intentions, his letter would have been submitted already. Politics. Backdoor deals. Something he want. Y'all don't think that the progressives knows this and Miss Lucille Moy knows this? So now they smell the blood in the water like sharks, and here they come. Of all of the times, we're going to come now with a vote of no confidence. And the vote of no confidence is so ridiculous. It has no merit. Most of it is a list of things that they never got done in 12 years of being in control of this country. And so because they weren't able to accomplish it in 12 years with one bag of excuses, which we're going to go through here in a second, all of a sudden now, in less than 2 years, they expect the PAC government to be miracle workers. Oh, Jesus. Woo! Somebody said, Lord, she's going for the jugular this morning. I tell you, boy, for lack of knowledge, your people are going to perish. Do not be fooled. When somebody shows you who they are, you believe them the first time, but you people are just unbelievable. Oh, we believe the Lord same as gave them 50 chances. I'm like, what? Huh? The Lord didn't tell you to be the donkey? Why are we so foolish? Why do we allow them to take advantage of us in the way that we do? What is it about us as people? So the progressives jumped up yesterday. We heard the rumors. Oh, they're coming. But you see, they didn't just jump up yesterday. From over the weekend and from the second they lost the election, they are the worst sore losers. That's why I call them petty progressives. They are the worst sore losers I have ever seen in my life. They cannot accept. What his name is, Joey Hugh, said, oh, we lost the government, but we haven't lost the election. Okay. You keep that in your little head. They cannot accept that they have lost. And from day one, they have done everything in their power to pull PAC apart. Y'all saw what happened during the election. Here, I feel like we're in an election cycle all over again. The horse trading, calling this one. Oh, I'm going to offer you this. I'm going to offer you that. PAC members would be beyond stupid, but here's the problem. Some people are inherently greedy, duplicitous, and just utterly disgusting. So am I here to tell you this morning that every single PAC member should be trusted to keep PAC together? No. I can't lie to you. The truth is, there are some self-serving people, because people are people no matter where you go. There are some self-serving people who are part of the PAC as well. They care about self before PAC. They care about self before country. Now, I'm not going to name any names today, but let me assure you that I know who they are and I know what they're up to. 2 years, the election is coming again. And you can count on CMR holding these people to account. They know who they are too. And as you listen this morning, I want you to hear me loud and clear. 2 years will go by very, very quickly. And I know a lot can happen in 2 years, but if we're still all here, you'll be trying to run to CMR to get your message out to the people. And when you see CMR pull what I did with the progressives during the last election and say, no, thank you, not for all the money in the world will you get on this platform, you will know that you were one of the Judases and that I've known it all of this time. The irony of it is that a lot of people who are trying to use this as a power grabbing move don't even have the skill set. They think too much of themselves. They're inexperienced politically. They can't find themselves out of a wet croquet sack. They're so clueless about so much. And this is how I know it is pure greed that drives them. Oh, they want a ministerial position. They want Speaker of the House. They want this, they want that. How can you want anything when you are not capable? And nobody thinks you're capable. Not your initial supporters, your committee members, not the people in your constituency. They're already talking that, oh my God, what have we done by putting this person in? You will sacrifice your political career and the long term for a short-term gain. But you know what? Go right ahead. Sometimes you just have to sit back and let people be who they're going to be. What did I just tell you? Aunt Lottie said, leave them alone and give them enough rope. They will reveal themselves to you and to everybody else. Not everybody that sounds sweet and looks sweet is sweet. For some people, this is all about the money. You know what? Life is so funny when it comes to money. Can we just get a money lesson real quick? Morning, Perla. Good morning to Miss Morna. KK says they're all scared of people. Simple. The PAC government is in the same boat. They only speak to who they want to speak to. Alex says, tell it to them, Sandy. She looks like a traitor and a crooked woman. Speaking about Lucille over there. Morning, Felicia. Perla says, I need about 5 cups of coffee with all this mess. She also says, we can't win with these toddlers. Gabby says, Alden, lucky he still had a few sheep in his flock so he could have been out too. Yeah. Morning, Charles. He says, the only difference between Alden and Kurt is better at being fake with the people, but they're one and the same. Be sure your sin will find you. Just wait on time. I'm telling you, time is definitely going to reveal a lot. Hey, Eddie. Eddie Powell said he's listening with a lot of interest from the Philippines. Good old Eddie has moved his entire life over there to the Philippines. I saw you on Facebook getting a facial. Perla says, please, Sandy, reveal them. Time will reveal them. You're not got to worry about that. We got time. Omiria says, Sandra, the PPM office was calling people yesterday after they updating their membership, people that have left them a long time ago. What a mess. Not surprised. Who's surprised by this? Did y'all not hear me a couple weeks ago when I said Derry Dakers, who is head of the Miss Cayman committee? Not only was she on the platform during the election, on Alden's platform, on the PPM platform, introducing them, big time PPM supporter, but after the horse trading began, she was one of those people on the phone up to the 11th hour and 59 minutes before that clock struck the midnight when the governor signed off on this new government. She was one of the people calling people. Andre, come on over. Jay, come on over. Isaac, come on over. That was her on the phone trying to convince people. And yet she sits. Talk about duplicity. No wonder she can't hold Tiffany accountable. Look at the type of person she is. If Kenneth had any sense, he would have removed her immediately as chairperson of the Miss Cayman Universe Committee. But politically, some of these guys are green as they want to be. They believe in bringing the fox in the hen house. Oh, this is poor Kenneth. Kenneth, I feel so sorry for you because sometimes you're too nice for your own good. Oh, yes, Austin is a Caymanian. I want to help him out. I want to give him a job. Let's bring him in. What? These are people who have demonstrated to you who they are. I like Austin, but Austin has demonstrated who he is. Duplicity. What are you bringing him up in the hen house for? He's a fox. You leave the foxes on the outside. Are you crazy? And then you wonder why you all having problems? Look at the foxes that they brought in. Juliana O'Connor Connolly. Everybody knows she's the biggest political fox. That's a nice word for what other people call her. They begin with a W, H-O-R-E. She just flies with the wind. Juliana she has no chill. She don't care. Look at Cayman Brack and the mess that Cayman Brack is in with drugs. A child that has been found dead. This woman has never made a statement about nothing except what the frick they call? LGBT community. That's all she cares about. She's never stood up for nothing. You never hear this woman having nothing to say. She's in vacation mode. Fox in the hen house. And I get it. They didn't have much of a choice. John, where does your loyalty lie? And you know the excuse. Well, I need a minister to really be able to represent the people of Bordentown, West and East and blah, blah, blah. I need a ministry. This is the foolishness thing I tell you. Oh, well, the reason why I turned coat is because I need a ministry to be able to support West Bay Central and West Bay this. They don't need no ministry. You can serve the people. In fact, you serve them better sometimes when you're not a minister, because you can be on the ground about the people's business. It's greed why you want a ministerial position. Pure and simple. You want that $12,000 plus a month salary because you can't pay your bills. Y'all want some honest truth up in here today? Listen to me. I have been poor and I've had a few dollars in the bank. Never been rich and will probably never get there. But here, at my poorest, I didn't know where my next meal was coming from. Being a poor person doesn't change who you are. If you're a good person, if you're an honest person, if you're a person who believes in helping others, none of that is changed because you're poor or you have a few more dollars. Now, if you have a few more dollars, you might be able to help people more. That's for sure. Money doesn't make the man or woman. It's neither here nor there. So for those of you who are grabbing now at power and that additional paycheck, I see you. I see you. And I understand you now. Some of these MPs have never seen so much money in their lives. And I don't care what they want to tell you. They are struggling to pay bills. Just like me and you. They're struggling. Oh, this one, my husband not working. So I'm having to take the whole thing. And I didn't expect when I was going to become an MP that so many people would be begging me for money and this and that. And so my whole paycheck. So I need to become a minister. Money. I understand it all too well. You're revealing yourself, honey child. Mr. Eden says Perla toddlers actually behave better and they're smarter too. Miss Darlene says, Sandy, you of all people know it is how politics works all around the world. Look at what happened right here in the UK with Mr. Johnson. The very same thing could happen if it was any other party or parties. Who is to blame if either party is not strong enough to hold their own grounds and govern? The other party or parties, of course, will do exactly what PPM is doing. Not exactly, Darlene. And I'm glad that you brought that up. Because, remember now, on more than one occasion, the same PPM government, the same progressives, almost had vote of no confidence and almost had coups calling them. But the opposition was not as duplicitous as this current opposition. Darlene, go and check the record for yourself. Anytime there's political upheaval and a coup, it's UDP involved, McKeevan and his bunch, and it's the PPM involved. Even when Arden was bringing his vote of no confidence to the House last time, They weren't on the phone trying to get people to shift from before and take Alden and the progressives out. They were not doing that. So I do not agree with you that every party would be doing such a thing. The progressives are special. And they're made extra special and extra duplicitous with the likes of this Lucille Moy advising them. This is a power play, and that's all it is. Irvlin says, "Bangarang, mighty God," in the words of Andre Popsito Stevens. You know, Andre was supposed to come on this morning, but the man can't even come on because I tell him, I said, "Sir, right now we not business at what happening in Jamaica. We got our own issues right here in the Cayman Islands. And it is definitely a bangarang." My God. Unbelievable. Woo! All right. Progressives. And it is sad. Let me just say this. Did I say October? No, it's September. Let me just say this, folks. At the end of the day, right? Listen, it's just too simple of a formula. In politics, when you reveal yourself, people know and people talk. Somebody said to me some months ago, I can't remember what it was about a particular MP. They're like, "Sandy, this person is just using people until they get where they want to go." And here I am trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, no, give her the benefit of the doubt. You know, maybe she's just like overworked, new MPs, it's like, they need time to learn the ropes and da-da-da. This person said, "Sandy, as someone who has known this person my entire life, you mark my word. She could come to my business every day when she needed support. And now that she's in, it's been over a year and I can't hear from her. And here I am defending, she's just trying to get used to the rope." Other people said, "What's this being talked on the street? What's this? What's that?" People talking about dishonesty with money and land mix up and that mix up and all sorts of mix up. And I'm like, what? What are you saying? I start to listen. People remember when I was talking about the fox in the hen house? People put foxes and thieves in their own homes, their own political homes, and then those people start to talk their business. And we don't believe them because the messenger has less than a stellar character. But you know what I say? Here, this one. I say sometimes it takes a thief to know a thief. It takes a liar to know a liar. The rest of us, poor me, I'm trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. But the people that they're dealing with who exposing them, they tell you don't listen to her because she's a liar, she's a thief, she's a this. Maybe so. But she's recognizing some similar traits in other people. And that's a problem. Takes one to know one. Brother Eddie says, "Tell it like it is, Sandy." Rashawn says they're all lodge brothers. They protect each other. Set lodge aside because believe me when I tell you that this goes way beyond lodge. Most of those people don't have nothing to do with lodge. They don't understand lodge. They don't know nothing about lodge. They are just nasty, manipulative, and duplicitous people. And they're power hungry and money hungry. Shannon says he's a master manipulator, a gambler. Now, is Austin listening this morning? I got a little joke for you with Austin. Where's Austin Harris this morning? Austin Bobo, you there? So I sent out a message. Y'all saw what I posted on social media yesterday about, I can't wait till the next election because some of y'all don't need to call me. Austin sent a message. Ironically, it wasn't intended for me, saying somebody sound like they're scared. He must have meant to send that to Alden. And he accidentally sent it to me. And I said, "Austin? Who?" I said, hold on, I gotta show y'all the conversation because I can't even make this stuff up. I cannot make this up. So Austin is in my news group and he's been for years. And I don't remove, just because he in with the progressives and whatever, I don't remove him. Andre is in my news group, Andre Spute. He stays right the same way. I let him know exactly what's going on, just like everybody else. So poor Austin, he accidentally types the message to the wrong person. And he ends up sending it to me, and I had to chuckle. This is what he said. He's like, oh, look like somebody worried. So this is what I responded and said to him. I said, who? Because, when someone sends you a message on WhatsApp, you have the option of deleting it, right? But I saw it before he deleted it. So I said, who? He says, sorry, wrong chat. I said, I'm not scared. Ha, ha, ha. They better be, if they're smart. Tell Al, then he can tune in tomorrow, because I'm pretty sure that message was for him. Oh, God, you cannot make this stuff up. I see you, Austin, sending some special love your way. Because, I'm glad that they finally gave Austin a job, because Alden did Austin wrong in the last election. I mean, he did his own self wrong. That's why he lost. But Alden was sure there to help him. So I'm really glad that that he eventually gave him a job. And he's got his show over there that, unfortunately, nobody not watching. But anyway, that's not the point. So, Perla says, Sienna, you're defending Caymanians like how we're supposed to. We need a strong defense to all this barbecue grilling that they're offering. Child. Taikia, is that how you pronounce your name, honey child? Said that they should have voted Mario Ebanks in from the beginning. Mario is a very respected man and has the right qualities for this role. We need some new blood in politics too. Can we get some decent people? Are there any decent people left in the Cayman Islands who are actually interested in politics? Because we got decent people, but they don't want to be up in this barang-a-rang what foolishness. They're like, no, I have better things to do. Irvin says to read them out. Speak the truth and it shall set you free, says Marshall. They don't know nothing about the truth. Don't worry, Vicky. There's good reason why you sometimes have to wait and sit back and watch. What do they say? Not everything good for eat, good for talk. Sometimes you have to let people do the revealing themselves, Vicky. There's so much I will say. And then I know people will do themselves in. Y'all don't worry. Time is the master of all things. Darlene says, morning, everyone. Our premier, deputy governor, and governor didn't waste any time to discipline our minister, Bernie Bush. Well, let me be very, very clear here, Darlene. The premier did that. I don't know what the deputy governor has to do with that. Deputy governor can't discipline an elected member. But the only reason the premier could do so is because the first time in Cayman Islands history, his cabinet has a code of conduct. Let's look now, if we will, and I appreciate your comments coming in. Morning, Miss Brenda. Let's now look at what the progressives is claiming is the reason why you should be calling why they're going to be having a vote of no confidence. Let's look at the details, because the devil is definitely in these details, honey child. And they are so far off the mark that it's not even funny. To me, this list that they put together is a list and a sad indictment on them as a complete failure when they were in government. This is the God's honest truth now. They have put together what they say is 14 points. Hold on now. I pulled up the Constitution. I was reading the Constitution, but I need to pull up their letter. Here we go. Private motion number. I guess they don't have a number yet. They take a nice picture in front of the LA. Oh yes, we're here to call the government to account. All right. Morning, Damien. He says, preach it. Darlene, sorry. Anthony says, those damn foxes grinning with them hens again. Damien says, are they selling tickets at the gates of heaven? No, honey child. They selling tickets at the gates of hell. Heaven not gonna be letting some of them in. Mr. Alden, that's news to me. No, what part is news to you? You're surprised about something with Alden? I know well. Eddie, joining us in the Philippines, says, Sandy, you're hitting it on the head. It's all for the love of money and power. And you know what? I don't have any issue. Let me be very, very clear. Like I said, I have had money in my life and I have not had money. And I have no issues with people who have money. Believe me, I know people who are millionaires and I'm like, good for you. If you can get those coins, good. It's about how you get it that is the problem. You can't get it by taking advantage of people, by robbing people, by stepping on people, and that sort of thing. You cannot get it the wrong way. And so some of them who are trying to grab that additional coin bag have not proven themselves even. They don't deserve it. You work hard in life, you will be rewarded for your hard work. They're not working hard in life and they want to be rewarded. I don't even know, if Aunt Lottie was alive, I don't even know what she'd say about that kind of behavior. You don't want to work, but you want a reward? Are y'all crazy? That's not how we were raised. But boy, these people, no, sir, they're on a different level. Completely. They don't want to work. Oh, I want speaker. I want this. I want that. Really. Wah, 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 wah. It's all about what you want, not what the people need and what you should be doing. Y'all better pull up your bootstraps and get out there and do some work. My God. Miss Ann says, listening and watching, inform us. They're listening too. Oh, I know they're listening. I guess they got Miss Lucille listening too, going, boy, we need to do something about this Sandy Hill because she'll mash up our plans. We're not going to be able to get this vote of no confidence going. Nobody not going to flip because of her. She's going to call them out. Miss Lucille, welcome to the Cayman Islands. We're not going to be fooled by you or anybody else. Who holds your work permit, girl? You coming on a work permit? What's the name of the consulting company? I see you on LinkedIn. You think I'm not paying attention? What should say the name of her company is? Yes, sir. Go check her out, boy. LinkedIn claims that she is a managing director of LM Associates Limited for the past 15 years out of Bridgetown, Barbados. Should I send her a LinkedIn invite? Do you think I should connect? She has 2 connections. Would y'all like to guess who those 2 connections are? Let's win us some money here today. Not money. I'm not giving away money. Y'all try and go sit down. Gift certificates. Ooh, we got a nice Waffle Monkey gift certificate. And we have hold on. I love these little trivia calendar booklets. So we have one of those. Hold on, let me get it. All right, y'all love trivia. 365 amazing days of trivia, 2022 calendar. If you know who her 2 associates are, name either one. Don't make no difference. Lucille Moore. On LinkedIn, name one of the 2, and you choose a Waffle Monkey gift certificate. I would go with that, honey chill. Tomorrow is going to be curry chicken day at Waffle Monkey. Or you can get yourself this lovely trivia little calendar book. Yeah? You tell me which one you want. Y'all get it. Hello, Nathina. She says, I'm listening to you on YouTube. How are you on YouTube, but your comment is coming in from Facebook? That's weird. Lucille Moore? Alden? Nope, not Alden. Is Alden even on LinkedIn? Not Alden and Roy. Irvelyn is kind of close, but I don't know who Lucille Moore is. But you're kind of in the right ballpark with the name. Keep on keeping on. 936-2626. Don't forget the The phone lines are open. So it's not Alden. He wouldn't be that stupid to friend her on LinkedIn. But she does have 2 mutual connections. Uh-huh. All right. While y'all guessing, Kenneth? No, Nicole. Lucille Seymour. Ding, 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 ding. Where's my little, hold on. Where's my little, you got it right. Where's my button? Oh God, I need to organize my button. Congratulations to Denise. She got the right answer. Lucille Seymour is one of her friends. Not McKeever. Robert said McKeever. No, McKeever deals with the Jamaicans when it comes to consultants. Yes, Lucille Seymour. And she was the one going around introducing her to people when she was on island before the previous election, introducing her to other candidates, and they didn't even know who she was. Oh, come and have dinner with us. The 2 Lucilles. Come and sit down and have dinner. Meet my friend from Barbados. Meanwhile, they start picking people out about politics. And these people didn't know what they were up to. They think they be fooling people. You don't let the fox into your hen house. You from Barbados? What are you doing up in Cayman politics? Get out. Asking questions. Why do you care? That would have been Mike. If I was at that dinner, why they don't be inviting me nowhere, honey child? Because I would have been like, excuse me, miss, what do you say your name is? Lucille who? Why do you care about Cayman politics? Oh, they want everything. Well, what do you think about this? Trying to pick people out. Y'all not smart. Fox in the hen house. Morning, Mr. Belika. He says, fire and brimstone this morning. Do you think the progressives have the vote to win the motion? No. At present, it is 12 government and 6 opposition. Don't they have 7? I thought they had 7. Under Section 51 of the Constitution, they need 2/3. They don't have 2/3, but boy, they are working overtime. Yeah, they calling everybody and their cat, dog, and everybody in between, even the house hamster. All right, let's look at their so-called lack of confidence in the government and what it is that they are claiming. First one up. And you know, last night I was looking at this list again, thinking to myself, I said, the progressives is kind of funny, you know, like not in the best of ways, but they did make me laugh with some of the foolishness that they put in here. This lack of confidence is actually an indictment on them and the stuff that they couldn't accomplish in 12 years that now they want to hold this government accountable for. Number one, the premier's lack of effective leadership. First of all, what does that mean? Because as I sat down last night with my little laptop in bed, my poor husband was already snoozing. I thought to myself, what do they mean by lack of effective leadership? You can fool all of the people some of the time, and some of the people all of the time. But guess what? You cannot fool all of the people all of the time. Progressive and Lucille, y'all need to pay attention. I started to think about leadership in recent times when it comes to Mr. Alden McLaughlin. And he kept his party together. So he thinks that somehow that means that he was a great leader. Because someone in the UK lost their good senses, fell down, hit their head on one paver, and decided to give him the accolade of Sir. They believe that he was a good leader. Because he had the governor, with all due respect, H.E. Honorable Martin Roper, had you hoodwinked, you supported him getting the Sir, and everything Alden told you, you believed him? Yeah, Alden looks the part with that slick back hair. I see you, Alden, with your extra gel. What kind of gel you use in your hair, brother? Poor dude got to straighten the hair because he didn't want y'all to know that he black. So I reflected not on his hair last night, but on his leadership capability. And I said to myself, during the pandemic, this is a man that could not control his own people. He sat next to John as John attacked the media, insulted Wendy Ledger, called her, and we're still confused by that donkey story. Oh, now none of us can figure out what the hell that was all about. Alden, isn't he the same one who sat down talking about now he's such a wonderful leader, and he told us that he cannot control what happens in his own house, much less what's happening in his government? Those were his words. The man told you. Leadership, that's your definition of leadership? He told y'all. Oh, I can't even control what my kids and my wife do in my household. This was the fiasco with John's wife allegedly out during COVID, flexing with some other man. But yet he's a leader, and he just told you he not got no control over nothing. And you trying to what? Hold this premier to those standards? You're telling him he must have control over everything under the sun because you didn't do it? What are you saying? Listen to what people tell you, because in their own words, they often reveal who they are. He's such a fantastic leader that he spent so much time in these local bars that some of them must have his name or his behind engraved on the bar stool. Underneath it, it should say sponsored by Alden McLaughlin. That's a good leader. A good leader is someone who spends time at South Coast 24/7. Chelsea's, another 24/7. Whoring all over the place. You're a good leader. Oh, but Jesus Christ. What's going on with Sandra this morning? That's the definition of a good leader? Y'all listening? So because Premier Panton not spending his time in bars and chasing down Spanish girls and trying to get them pregnant and the such, he's not a good leader? He's spending too much time in the glass house working. What does he mean, effective leadership? Were you running the country sitting there at the bar counter? I'm curious, because inquiring minds really want to know what you mean by effective leadership. Okay, we're not finished yet. I continued to reflect in his so-called, how you can call somebody out in effective leadership. Request for the overseas offices to be done the day after the election is called. That's not effective leadership. That's called duplicity. That's called, oh, let's rush and get all this stuff done at the very last minute because we didn't do anything else while we were in office. An effective leader would have never in a million years let McKeeva Bush get away with what he did last time. We wouldn't be here today, my fellow Caymanians, if Alden McLaughlin and the PPM had any effective leadership. Because they would have done McKeeva when he beat the shit out of that woman. Y'all hear me? They don't have no effective leadership among them. Talking about the pot trying to call somebody else black. No, sir. Own your blackness, son, in more ways than one. They couldn't stop McKeeva Bush. They refused to do anything about him. What kind of leader are you? You would not even speak up. A leader calls out wrong when wrong has been done. That's what you should do. Oh, Lucille Seymour in the house. Denise, WhatsApp me for your prize and let me know which one you want. Like I said, I would go with Waffle Monkeys if I were you, honey child. Miss Lucille Seymour's in the house. Johan is here. He says they don't invite you because you're too wild and cannot hold your tongue. Unruly. Thank you. That's a compliment. I'm unruly, yes. Brenda says we got some decent Caymanians somewhere about the place, but they just don't want to run for politics. And when they do, the people don't elect them. Marlon says, is it that the PPM government are not capable of running the country, knowing what the people of the country need and want, why they're seeking outside help? No, they're just seeking it because they think they smart. And they've been told that this woman is the cat's meow when it comes to Caribbean politics. She don't know nothing about Cayman. So Miss Lucille Seymour's in the house, and she says, "Of course I know her." Well, that wasn't no, Miss Lucille. With all due respect, that wasn't a question. Yeah, nobody was putting that as a question. We were saying that you do know her, and that you have been out to dinner with her and other political candidates, et cetera, introducing her to people. That was not a question. That was a statement of fact. But anyway. She's a friend I met a long time ago, just like you. Well, I wouldn't. I mean, you can call her friend if you want, but all right. You're a close friend, just like Lucille Moore. Miss Lucille? She says she met her through. Okay, Miss Lucille, we can just leave that alone. She said, "I've decided in my life a long time ago that politics will not make me create enemies. You know that the premier is a great friend of mine." Which premier? Alden or the current one? I mean, yes. Which premier are we talking about? "We have been friends and we remain friends. Life is too short for me to intentionally create enemy." All right, we can just leave that alone. Just leave that alone, my dear. We're not even going there this morning. Thank you, Jesus. Oh yes, effective leadership. Shall I go on? An effective leader knows when he is wrong and is willing to admit it. Wow. You're not an effective leader, good sir, when you decide to not listen to the people of the Cayman Islands when it comes to the building of schools and the spending of millions of dollars of our money on capital projects that can never get finished. You're not an effective leader when you don't listen to the people's wishes about the environment and the port birthing facility. An ineffective leader is the one who tells you, "I don't care what you think. Cayman is going to get a cruise birthing facility and we're going to get in bed with the carnivals of the world." That's not effective leadership. He doesn't want to listen to the experts. He doesn't want an environmental impact study because Alden is a demagogue. He knows it all. He has all of the answers. You all must bow to this man. He is your premier, and you don't need to tell him what to do. An effective leader ignores you. That's why when you message him, he does not even have the courtesy of acknowledging your messages. Whilst he was knighted and given this accolade, y'all need to remember what happened at the beginning of the pandemic. You know what this so-called man who's now going to talk about he knows what effective leadership looks like was doing? When that cruise ship, remember the Italian cruise ship that Jamaica turned away? I have never seen a cruise ship move so fast in my life, but geez on peace, I didn't know. I'm like, these things are big. They can put them in high gear, and next thing you know, I don't know how many knots they be doing, but they show up on the shores of the Cayman Islands. In no time flat, that cruise ship came in before nightfall. And Alden McLaughlin and his what do they call his minister of tourism were allowing that ship in. CMR put up the article. Y'all remember it because everybody was going crazy about Jamaica. Hold on. Let me get my receipts because y'all know I believe in some receipts now. Italian cruise line, COVID outbreak. This was when we brought in, shortly after that, we brought in, let me see here now. So this would have been around March of 2020. Let me see if I can find it. And you all were refusing to listen to poor little CMR here in the corner because the great leader, Alden McLaughlin, told you, y'all was screenshotting and sending me his screenshots, that you had nothing to fear. He says, CMR is fear mongering. We're going to let that cruise ship in. Let me find the article. Yes, March of 2020. And yet we're going to reward him for, oh, he did so great with the pandemic. Y'all are crazy. Truly crazy. March of 2020. Yes. And I'm looking for Italian cruise. Let me see here now. I'll hide this filter. Okay. First patient died. That was March the 14th. We had first patient. Okay. So March the 1st. Let me see if this is it. I don't think this is it. There's another one in between this. We had the first confirmed case of the coronavirus in the Caribbean. Yes, that was in St. Martin. But hold on one second now. Despite that, your government was still allowing people to come in. They wasn't paying attention. They wasn't business. Cruise ship. This is the definition of an effective leader. He don't listen to nobody, including the health experts. I think it might have been this one on March the 9th. Anyway, rest assured that the story is there. Okay, the ship was on the way. And your esteemed leader, because he's an effective leader, was refusing to stop the ship because he says CMR is fear mongering. That's what he did. That's the lie he told y'all, because apparently effective leaders are very good at lying as well. Yep. As luck would have it, he had no choice but to start to shut down the country shortly after that. Jamaica refused them entry, and they booked it to Cayman real quick. And the premiers, stop the fear mongering. Don't listen to CMR. Sandy doesn't know what she's talking about. I'm in control here because I'm the only man you need to listen to. I am your esteemed leader. Listen, I could go on all day with examples of ineffective leadership when it comes to the progressives. Here's another article that CNS had up about how he was humiliated by his MPs. This was during the LGBTQ debate in the House. He himself said he was humiliated by his own MPs. Yes, but he's an effective leader. His words, he was utterly humiliated by the failure of legislators to uphold the law. He was talking about his own progressive members. But yet, he and the progressives are an example of what to do. Let's move on to number 2. The cabinet's collective lack of collaboration, cohesion, and competence. Really? Do you really want us to dissect lack of collaboration, cohesion, and competence on the part of the progressives? You had a health minister, and John, I am sorry, but I have to call a spade a spade. You had a health minister who knew nothing about health and was sitting on the platform speaking in proverbial tongues in many languages and praying during COVID, reading verses from the Bible because that's all he could do. And you want to talk about competence? Come again, son, come again. Instead of calling it PCR test, he was calling it a CPR test. Now, I know that you think you're competent because, again, you suffer from this demagogue. I'm a god, and I know everything. But we have a lot of examples of lack of competence, cohesion, and collaboration. Just that you ignored it all, and we did not have an effective opposition that was calling you out all the time. And when you had a no vote of confidence coming your way, you called an early election. This is a party that operates on political expediency. Remember what I tell you, because again, when we go back to February of 2021, we have yet another article that says Speaker McKeeva Bush will retain his prestigious title and office and all of the benefits until Election Day, despite the decision by Premier Alden McLaughlin to call an early election and to dissolve or prorogue Parliament. By avoiding dealing with a no confidence motion, McLaughlin has ensured that Bush will retain all of the trappings and financial benefits that go with his office until Election Day, when the current administration ends. Do I need to read that to you again? You understand what Alden did? I tell y'all, McKeeva will always get paid. He will always come out okay on the other side. So he claimed that by calling and dissolving Parliament early, Bush would no longer be the Speaker of the House. That was a lie. In reality, this is what the article says. In reality, while he will not be presiding over any actual proceedings in the House, he has not been removed from office. These guys are so duplicitous, they lie to you all the time. And if you're not paying attention, you will be fooled. It's a fundamental and important point, and it demonstrates the type of people that you are listening to. This is who you want to trust to talk about collaboration, cohesion, and competence? You all have been hoodwinked on more than one occasion by this government, the previous government, by the progressives. Don't worry, we're going to come to more. Back in March of 2021, Alden admits deal not done on Red Bay Road. Here's another example. We talk about cabinet. What cabinet been doing? What exactly, sir, were you accomplishing? Here you know. He's admitting he got something wrong, but of course he can blame other people. Alden McLaughlin claims that he had simply reported what I understood from the briefing I received from the ministry responsible. That's a quote from him. Simply reported what I understood from the briefing I received from the ministry responsible when he said that government had struck a deal with the relevant landowners to complete what appears to be a controversial road linking Red Bay with the Grand Harbor area. In other words, he got it wrong. Incompetent, lack of collaboration, cohesion. Which one you think that falls under? Y'all remember that? That's when the Davenport people wrote him a letter, because he also named Davenport in this whole fiasco. And Davenport said, hold on, sucker. Don't be mixing us up in your barangarang. And then he had to issue an apology. Hear what he said? Because he never really once said me. He another McKeeva. He never admitted he wrong. If I was mistaken in naming Davenport, then I apologize. It wasn't an if. You were mistaken. And you should be apologizing to Davenport. But no, he's like, if. These are these half-ass apologies. Oh, if I hurt your feelings, I might be wrong. I might be sorry, but not really. If I was mistaken. Yes, you were mistaken. And even in your half-ass apology, you want to talk about competence? Oh, yeah, blame it on somebody else. Competence. His government wasn't together. He just allowed them to do whatever they wanted, not holding them accountable. So of course, there was who gonna be complaining when you got a boss that make you do whatever you want to do. Now, number 3 on the list really has me going. Okay. Now, this one is almost laughable. I need a laugh track. Do we have a laugh track in here anywhere? I need something to laugh because this one is next level crazy. This one is like, Alden, what were you drinking when you wrote this? I don't know what his drink of choice is. Is it rum? Is it a good tequila shot? It gotta be something because, I mean, you know, after I saw this yesterday, I called my friend. I said, honey child, I need a drink. Let's go out to dinner. And she was like, what? You need a drink? Because y'all know I don't really drink. She's like, you need a drink? Yeah, let's go. Because she gonna drink now, you know. When we get there, I had water. She was like, here's the bar menu because you told me you were gonna drink and you can have a drink tonight. Child, I had 2 glasses of water and dinner and called it a night. But sometimes I do wonder what people be drinking because the stuff they say don't make no damn sense. The number 3 says the lack of any progress in bringing forward a parliamentary code of conduct that would provide an effective means of holding members of parliament accountable. Jesus Christ. Y'all really put that on the list? This Lucille Moore must be crazy to tell y'all to put this on the list. Did she help y'all draft this vote of no confidence? Because maybe she needs to talk to me and retire from and leave Cayman politics alone. Hear this now. The lack of any progress in bringing forward a parliamentary code of conduct. Really, Alden? Your government never even mentioned a code of conduct because you were never prepared to hold your people responsible. This is beyond the pot calling the kettle black. So you never wanted one. You never did one. You let McKeever get away with all of his shenanigans. When this government came in and unfortunately had to work with Mac, but they said, you know what? We're going to hold people accountable. We're going to implement a code of conduct. Now, here's the biggest joke. I agree it's not finalized, but to say that there's a lack of any progress isn't exactly true either. Because for the first time ever, we have a code of conduct for cabinet. Did Alden ever have one for cabinet? No. So at least you can hold a portion of government responsible for their behavior. Number 2, a draft code of conduct has already been submitted to, at the very minimum, the PAC members. And I don't know if the opposition got it as well, but definitely the PAC members have it from March of this year. The only fault I'm going to give here is Premier, get it together and pass it. Put it before the people and make them vote on it. Make them go on record, and anybody who votes against it, we gonna know. Because they're holding it up, talking about, well, I don't know if it should include stuff with your personal life and personal affairs. That's why it hasn't been passed. It's not that the Premier hasn't done his part. It's not that he hasn't given them a draft. It's because these men and some women that y'all have elected have no scruples about them whatsoever. So they're scared of a code of conduct. They're going to pay you lip service and tell you that they're going to sign it. And the God's honest truth is they don't want to sign it. They do not want to sign it, regardless of what they tell you, the people. Because they're pyang. Well, it should include personal stuff. If it doesn't include personal stuff, what's the point? That would exclude what McKeever did in every single instance. It wouldn't have excluded when Alden boxed down Elio, though, because that actually happened in Parliament. But it was in the lunchroom, so he'd probably argue, well, we weren't in session, so the code of conduct shouldn't apply to that either. You understand the games that these guys are playing? You understand? Now, let me tell y'all a little something. I told you at the beginning of the program, nothing you do is truly done in the dark. Everybody know your business. And they be sending it to CMR, honey child. You out in the back of your house sunbathing, and they taking a picture with their drone picture and send it to me, their drone camera. You think that the progressives doesn't know every single thing that happens in cabinet? Oh, Jesus, peace. There's so many leaks in there that it's not even funny. The premier farts, I'll then make a note. At 10:15 a.m., report received, the premier Panton just farted. Let me write that down. That's exactly what happens. So you don't think that Alden, you notice I keep talking about him as really the leader of progressives for good reason. Wannabe leader, Roy McTaggart, and everybody else in the progressives do not know that a draft code of conduct has already been circulated and that he is not the holdup. You don't think that they know? The second that was circulated, I'm sure they had their copy. Liars. That's what they are. Lack of any progress. That's not lack of any progress. It might not be completed because y'all don't want to sign off on it, including you, Alden. I want to see how you can vote on it when it comes to the House. Because then we might be able to hold you accountable for hanging out in the bars all the time. All right, you better be careful. Lord have mercy. Wow. Child, I don't even know. 2019, there's a petition circulating for a no confidence against then Premier Alden McLaughlin. Y'all remember that, or you probably don't remember that? It was happening. Let me read you this headline. Hold on a second now. So this was, one second. A petition calling for citizens to support a purported no confidence motion in Premier Alden McLaughlin is making the rounds on social media. August the 19th of 2020, the day after my birthday. The petition, which is circulating on WhatsApp together with a link to a questionnaire, this was from a Christian civics group, contains a call to ask blah, blah, blah. So this was some private organization trying to get a no confidence vote on on the premier. Isn't that ironic? I tell you. Let's move on. Let me see what else we got here. Sorry. I can't do all 14 because time will not permit me. So let me pick another one. In contravention of accepted conventions and norms, the premier allowed his ministers to involve the Speaker of Parliament in government business at home and at official meetings overseas. Found this one a little bit interesting, that he's talking about contravention of accepted conventions and norms. Y'all remember, and you may not remember, hence why I'm going to tell you, Mr. McKeever Bush sat as Speaker of the House, and he refused to allow a report to be tabled. Y'all remember this? A report from the Public Accounts Committee. Because the report was against his friend, the Honorable Linford Pearson, and in that report, it effectively said that he should be removed. Linford, that is, from Offreg. McKeever knew, although he claimed he didn't read the report, he knew what the report said, and he knew that the report would reflect poorly on him, not him, on his friend, Mr. Pearson. So he was trying to stop the report. Ezra Miller stood up and said, hold on. Not just about accepted conventions and norms. This is against the Constitution. And where was Alden McLaughlin? He talked about now, or where was the progressives at all? Now they're talking about conventions and norms. When things go against the Constitution, they ignored it. He himself, there are multiple examples of him ignoring constitutional provisions. He has been accused of so much hypocrisy, it is not even funny. Alva Saku. Where's Alva these days? He's in law school. Congratulations, Alva. I hear you graduated from law school and you're doing the PPC. Here we have Alva back in, what is this, May of 2019, being part of the opposition that was issuing a statement calling on Premier Alden McLaughlin to apologize. The statement reminds the public how much the current premier, that was Alden at the time, criticized McKeever Bush when he was premier on a range of issues, including the appointment of consulars, excessive travel, and negotiating with China Harbor Engineering Company, only to make an about face and do the exact same thing. Hear what they said at the time? This is a quote. The premier had to turn his political nemesis of 16 years and enter into an agreement just to hold on to power after failing in 2 successive elections to receive a full and decisive mandate. Do I need to read that to the people again? So even when in this last election, he is looking at the government, but oh, look at him now. They say they wouldn't work with McKeever, but they're working with McKeever. Alden has done it himself. Hear what they said in 2019? He did the same thing, power hungry, because he could never secure the government. And he will do anything to be in a leadership position, anything for Speaker of the House, anything for ministry. Here you know. Let's continue reading this article. 2 years on, despite promising to do so, the premier has yet to reveal the agreement made to ensure he remained in power. It is hypocritical actions such as these that undermine our democracy and the confidence in elected representatives. That quote was true in 2019, and it remains true today when it comes to the progressives, hypocrites, Spanish machete. The statement describes the current government, aka the progressives, as being dictated by narrow vested interests with no regard for democratic value. Goes on to say that this is an insult to the Caymanian people and the premier owes them an apology. Poor Alva. They were able to pull him back in during the last election and he lost his seat. Alden is the chess. He's like, y'all play chess? I don't really play chess. But what's the man at the top? The king? The chess maker, whatever? That's Alden. He is very good with people like Lucio Moore in the background, telling him how to move the chess pieces. And too many of you are ready to sell your soul, literally, to the devil of the progressives. I am so disappointed, I must tell you, because as someone who is a founding member, right, to see what this party has become under especially the leadership of Alden McLaughlin has just been a sad indictment on all of us. It's just unbelievable. Sad and unbelievable. They have become the very thing that we were setting out to be different from, which was the UDP and that bunch. That's what they have become. And those of you who remain card holding members, now that they're calling you to try and rally the troops, do not be fooled by these people. Denny Warren Jr., Billy Adams, myself, and others were out there protesting on the steps of the old glass house against McKeever Bush when he was giving away the status grants and everything else that he's done to this country, the destruction that has been caused. And Alden and the progressives were all behind it. Go and do it. Go and do it. Don't be used and don't be fooled by these people. And any elected member right now of the PAC government who is willing for your own personal gain, because this is ultimately what it's about. Don't come to the people with your lies about, oh, you know, I need a ministry to help the people of this, and this. You don't need no ministry. If you can't help them without a ministry, let me assure you, you're not going to be able to help them with a ministry. Your time will be so divided. Focus on your constituents. Do your job that you have been elected for. You were not elected to become a minister. You were elected by the constituents of your individual districts to have their interests. And if you want to claim to the people of this country that you cannot be effective unless you hold a ministerial position, you are a liar and a big joke. Becoming Speaker of the House does not benefit your constituents. The Speaker should come from outside of Parliament. It should not be any of you. But I see you. I see who you are. All about the money. And Alden see you too. That's why he can come making offers. Here it goes on. The failure to make any significant progress against the overwhelming majority of the targets that government set for itself in its strategic policy statement. Now, let me say this. I'm going to call out the PAC government on this front because we were supposed to be doing a one-year report about all of the things that they accomplished in their first year, because it actually has been quite a bit. To this day, 1 year past when? April, May? And to this day, I don't get that report yet because, oh, I'm waiting on this minister to sign off on it and that minister. PAC, y'all listen to me and you hear me clearly. I don't even know if the premier would be listening because I think he's traveling back home. You guys have stopped. You've got to stop this amateurish public relations hour. If your ministers don't sign off on it, so if you send it to the minister of, I don't know, transport and whatever, in his section, if he don't sign off on it and you've given him ample time, guess what? Send what you have approved, your part, to the people. Send it to me and we will discuss what we have. Leave them out, because when we're discussing all the other stuff that's been done, then all of a sudden they're going to jump up and be like, oh, but why didn't you include my stuff? Because you didn't sign off on it. Don't hold up a report and hold up progress because you have MPs who are too busy to review what you've included. Y'all do need help when it comes to PR. And whatever you're using for PR right now, just not working. You need some real help. So while the progressive has a Lucille Moore over there, so making them look like they know how to be, as someone said, the evil puppet master. The reason why Alden can sit down and try to call your leadership into question is you're being a little bit too nice. You need to get up and make sure that the people hear you loud and clear. And that the people are reminded that even in the short space of 1 year, you have been able to accomplish quite a few things on their behalf. Let's talk about a national development plan, which Alden wasn't able to do. Back in 2017, he was talking about it in November of 2017 about, economic growth has consequences and we can't do a national development plan yet, blah, blah, blah. In February of 2020, he claims that the ethics law, the standards in public life law, was finally coming after 6-7 years. But yet he's saying a year and a half in, y'all not do nothing yet. We still waiting on this. We still waiting on that. Really? Well, we waited on 12 years for certain things and never got it from the progressive government. So who are you really to talk? So and come. Everything's so and come. Meanwhile, he had time, though, in September of 2018 to be traveling to Monaco, to be having such a great time with the elites of the world, hobnobbing with, what was his name? Prince who? Prince, oh gosh, what the heck is his name again? Whatever, Prince whoever of Monaco, rubbing shoulders with him. Oh, we're promoting boating registration. You had time for that, did you not? Atto Stevens, child molester extraordinaire, convicted of sending thousands of messages to an underage girl soliciting sex from her and other things. When he was convicted, what was this government doing? Oh, well, we can't really get rid of him. It was because of protests on this platform. We're like, we will not keep a child molester here that's not even a Caymanian. We can't ship our own off, but we as hell don't want him. Oh, well, he's, family to so-and-so track star, blah, blah, blah. She got him living right here in Savannah Meadows. I said, I don't care. He's an American citizen. He's a Trinidadian citizen. Send him somewhere else. Make her go with him. This government, although the court had recommended deportation, was willing to sit back and do nothing. Indecent assault, gross indecency. He was found not guilty on those two because there just wasn't enough evidence, and the judge still did the best he could based on all the messages, the thousands and thousands of messages that he was sending this little underage girl. Remained on the island and had not been deported as per the recommendation of Grand Court Judge Michael Wood. And what did Alden say? In his position as an esteemed leader and someone who's competent and on the ball, the cabinet of the Cayman Islands has not yet considered the court's recommendation for deportation. Why? Because y'all were going to sit down and just let him stay in this country. If the people didn't get up and said, hell to the no, he would still be here. There's so much legislation that we can point to, especially when it comes to women and children's rights, that you have not done anything with in all of these years. You've refused to step up. How does that look on you? But yet you have the audacity to sit down and want to talk about a vote of no confidence. Are you kidding me? Delays in opening the overseas office, which you pushed through at the 11th hour before calling the general election. That's not a priority for this government. That was a priority for your government, and you didn't do it until the last minute. If it was so important to you, why didn't you do it before you decided to call an election. You did it at the last minute because you thought you were going to get back in. When I tell you all about all the favors that this government was looking to deliver on, this is one of them. They were prepared to take senior civil servants and put them all over the world, trying to curry favor. Some of these civil servants people don't even want to work with. So your solution is to put them in an office in Shanghai, London, this where, that where, so they can get all kind of big time salary. Wasting the people's money in the 21st century when really and truly, you don't need no friggin' overseas office. You can be more effective. I said it yesterday and I'll say it again. Do a public-private partnership with the likes of Maples and Calders and Walkers and people who already have offices in these jurisdictions. Make a trip once a quarter. Line up minutes, talk to people. Why do you have to have these offices? The case, the business case for it has never really been made to me, and I don't understand it. But again, this is another progressive failure that they expect us, or the PAC government and the people's money, that's what I'm saying us, to deliver for them. What is the business case for these so-called overseas offices? This government came in and the first thing they did was put a pump the brakes on it because they're like, we don't have the money. And they're secure. Oh, they were signing leases and securing leases in the most prestigious places in these world, in these individual countries, my apologies, that cost a good penny. And then paying these workers all kind of money to go overseas. And now they put this government in an untenable position because if they don't send these people overseas in some office, oh, you breaching my contract because I already had this contract signed, blah, blah, blah. Go read the Auditor General's report. Number 13 is laughable. The failure of ministers and others to conform to acceptable standards of behavior in public life, including failure to comply with the ministerial code of conduct. Alden, Mr. McTaggart, when you say others, let's just keep it to ministers because right now they're the only ones that would be subject to ministerial code of conduct. You see, I don't know if your friend Lucille Moy helped you write this, but number 13 is even written wrong. What do you mean by the failure of ministers and others to conform to ministerial code of conduct? A ministerial code of conduct, which you never had in place, so this is the first, can only hold ministers accountable. Here's the joke. Has the PAC government not just held Minister Bernie Bush accountable? Now, let's look at the progressives. Tell me who, in their 12 years, as a minister and otherwise, have they ever held accountable? Nobody. Nobody. Where's my crickets button? Crickets? That's all I'm hearing up in here. I'm waiting. Tell me who they held accountable. Then I held nobody accountable. Eden, thank you, co-host this morning. Smith Cove minutes show no reason for planning waiver. So those of you who are also in favor of bringing the PAC government back, because you claim that they are for the people, you need to go back and talk about all of the concessions, the millions upon millions upon millions of dollars that they have given away to every Tom, Dick, Harry, Jose that came to our shores with no real justification. And I'm all for sustainable development. But you can't give away everything. What were they giving to you, the people? I'm just curious if you know that. Were they giving you anything? Hold on now. At one point during his tenure, Alden said, one of the reasons why we need development in this country is so that you, the Caymanians, can get a share of the bottom of the pie. He said it. I need to find that clip. I think it was on video, but he said, you can become messengers and secretaries in these organizations. Lord Jesus, are you listening this morning? How this man can insult us. You're not meant to be owners of businesses. You're not meant to be entrepreneurs. You're not meant to be CEOs. You're not meant to be partners in these firms. You're at the bottom of the totem pole. And this is what the PPM, what their position was. We need more business in this country. We need more people opening up businesses because you will get the crumbs because that's all you deserve. Y'all listening to me this morning? You deserve the crumbs. A leader, he talked about effective leadership. An effective leader would never tell his people that you only deserve what's at the bottom, whatever trickles down. He says messengers and mail rooms and secretaries, that's the most that you can esteem too. Because as Caymanians, we don't deserve any better. That's what they think of us. Such low expectations. I must try to be a secretary my entire life. Are you crazy? I started out my career right out of high school as a friggin' secretary. Why would I be staying there? At least esteem for more. Even if you don't reach it, try your best. Get your accounting degree. Go to law school, become a plumber, then become a master plumber, then you own your own business. You shouldn't be at the bottom of the totem pole. But that's what he thinks of you. I tell you, when you listen to people, they will reveal themselves. This is what the man said. This, I'm not saying one word of lie. Go back and look it up. I'd have to find, like I said, I'm sure it was a video clip. This is what we're developing Cayman for. So that you can never hope to have a seat at the table. That's only for a select few. That's a problem. Smith Cove minutes, thanks Eden, show no reason for planning waiver. 5 months after Alric Lindsay began a Freedom of Information request for an extract from the minutes of a cabinet meeting, when government made the decision to waive planning permission for its proposed Smith Barcadere project, the release of the document gives no clue as to why it wanted to circumvent its own rules. Let's think about that and go back to over here. So this so-called lack of confidence. Where did he say about norms and, well, hold on. Where was that again? God, this is such a bunch of cockamamie. This is not even worth the paper it's typed up on. Which section that was again? Oh, yes. Number 5, contravention of accepted conventions and norms. We're not even talking about conventions and norms here. We're talking about circumventing the rules. Progressive incumbent Barbara Connolly, Joey Hugh. They had to bring out the heavy hitter Kurt Tibbetts to try and calm the people down in South Sound. That's the first time I ever saw him come back after he retired, because the people were so upset about what they were prepared to do to Smith Barcadere. They brought out the heavy hitter to calm y'all down. And we find out, thanks to Alric, that the waiver on the planning permission was confirmed by Cabinet in July of 2018. And it is still not clear why the decision was never made public through the Gazette as required by law. So they are in contravention of the laws of this country. And yet they tell you to unseat the current government because of conventions and norms. Conventions and norms are not the law. The law must be followed. Conventions and norms don't necessarily have to be followed. Do y'all hear what I'm saying to you when I tell you how they are a bunch of liars and duplicitous people? And anyone who aligns themselves with them has to be painted with the same brush. Because you know what? They don't care about good ethics or anything else. They're only in it for the money grab. So, if you're a PAC member this morning, you're listening to the program, whoever you are, Kathy, Bernie, Kenneth, I don't care who you are. If you get a phone call from the progressive and you're thinking about helping them to unseat this government because you can get a ministerial position or you promise Speaker of the House or whatever, and you don't know the truth and you don't care to know the truth, like I said, I'm watching you. And the people are going to be watching you come the next election because you will not get reelected. This is the mistake that we keep making. The people show us their true colors, and we are so short-sighted that we don't remember. We forget. This is what the people did. Joey Hugh did this. Barbara Connolly did this, and you all returned them to office. Yes, you would have been taking a chance on Johan and Alric. But sometimes you got to take a chance instead of the duplicitous devils and liars and money-hungry people that you know. December of 2020, minister has no data on the impact of concessions. Minister of Finance, Roy McTaggart, has admitted that no research has been done or data collected justifying the continued duty concessions and building materials in the Cayman Islands and Grand Cayman, and a host of other waivers on Cayman Brac. This came after he delivered a statement in Parliament the week before, renewing various import and stamp duty cuts due to expire on December 31st of that year. He was unable to tell his colleagues if these cuts had achieved their goals or if any of the price reductions had trickled down to consumers. Wow. Where's Clinton this morning? Clinton Ebanks, he loves him a progressive. But Clinton, when it comes to facts, he can't hold an argument. This is the government that was in for 12 years and that claims that they have all of the answers. And yet they can't even tell you. No one has bothered to do any research because the truth is they simply don't care. That's why the ESO is so important, because we need data, we need research, we need information to guide the decisions that are made in this country. Because you can make decisions every day, and if they're not viable decisions that actually impact the lives of the people, what sense does it make? I tell you, something is wrong. There's a storm brewing, folks, out there. And there's a storm brewing right here as well. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Do not be fooled. This person says, remind us that Wayne is not premier for the salary. Like all of the others, my road trip was delayed to listen this morning. Too hot to drive with. Ay. Unbelievable. There are people who are constantly crossing back and forth. And like I said, that's all to line their own pockets. It's not about what's in the best interest of the people. And this government is prepared I should say the opposition is prepared to put this country in a position of complete turmoil politically. They care not about the fallout. They don't care if the UK is saying, wow, do we need to step in here? They're creating instability in this country because they can. We stopped them during the general election, and here they are again, not even 2 years later, at it. The truth of the matter is they have never given up. Every week, there is a rumor about they're calling people and they're talking to people and they're doing this and they're doing that. They haven't stopped and they will not stop. The people need to send a very clear message to anyone in politics who cares more about themselves than the people. The people elected you to do a job. And the job wasn't necessarily for you to become speaker, and it wasn't for you to get a ministerial seat. It was to be about their business. And if you are of the misguided opinion that the only way that you can do that is to be making extra money, something is wrong with you. You do not have a clue. People are coming to you with issues and you have no solution. Oh, I talked to this person. You don't even pick up the phone. You don't do nothing. You don't deserve a ministry. You don't deserve Speaker of the House. You have to earn things. Nothing in life should be given to you, even as politicians. My fellow Caymanians, we've got to raise the bar. Sometimes, you give people a chance, and once they show you their true colors, guess what? They can be moved just like everybody else. And some people are going to show you their true colors. They've already started. The PPM has 12 years of showing their true colors, so we know what we got there. Nobody should be surprised by anything that they do. But we must now step up to the plate as the voters in this community with making better decisions. You know how much they care about you? They don't even have a constituency office for 12 years. They don't have constituency meetings. Only after we get on this show and call them out do they want to pretend like, oh yes, they're interested in culture and heritage and going to certain events. We shouldn't have to be doing that if they were genuine and if they were actually doing the job that the people hired them to do. Be about the people's business. That is why we elected you. They're not used to being held accountable by nobody. And that's why I'm very, very grateful for this platform, because if nothing else, I let y'all know what's going on. It's just really, really sad. Ms. Ava's here asking, how will young Caymanians be able to own a decent apartment or home? The expats are getting it all and taking the profits. Caymanians, stand up for your rights in your own country and prove our worth. This shall not continue. But it's going to continue when we continue to put the same people in. And their performance is far from spectacular. And to that viewer's point about the premier, I mean, obviously, Wayne don't need the money. So for him to give of his time and service to this country, I think, to be fair, you all must recognize the sacrifice, because he doesn't have to do it. He could be in a yacht or his boat out fishing or doing something else. He's not even taking the money to run a constituency office. He's paying that out of his own pocket, saving the people of the Cayman Islands money. Some of these other jokers over Yasso gonna hire family members to work in their office because they want to make sure that money comes back to them as well. For those on the radio who can't see me, I'm here shaking my head. We see you. I see you. Miss Vernita says, put fire under them. Sandy, time to clean up these beautiful islands and make our forefathers, slaves, Mandela, etc., not die in vain. More importantly, make our, I don't know what that, I think something's missing there. Make our do our Heavenly Father. Well, I know he must have looking down in shame head this morning. What a mess. What a mess. All right. This person says, you want to see how McKeever has protected himself financially? Have a look at the parliamentary pension law. The speaker's salary, etc., cannot be garnished. I can understand that you should not mention names in this instance, but I would suggest that you demand that all listed members of the PAC government call in and confirm their support for the Honorable Premier. Let me see who else's message. This person said, I understand that South Coast was where the big meeting was held and the big plans made to issue the motion of no confidence. Of course, I don't think Alden can get much done if he's not going to a bar. I mean, honestly. Yes, sir. Yeah, buddy. Let me see here. Someone says that they're decent people, but they can't be bothered in the wicked thing called politics. Yes, my love. I need you. Here, this next one says, good morning, Sandra. Here are my thoughts on the recent political developments. The problem with PAC and PPM defectors will face is public backlash from this because the focus should not be on the current premier, but rather on the current speaker. So for many of them, it could be political suicide. They don't know. Wayne has gained a lot of support for the position that he took against McKeever Bush with this recent incident. And so many voters will see this as MPs taking advantage of the current circumstances to facilitate a political power grab without focusing on the real problem, which is the speaker. The motion should be a vote of no confidence in the speaker and a demand for his resignation from the speakership and as an MP. Well, the truth of the matter is that's not going to happen because the progressives is trying to use this whole situation to their gain. They're not trying to do the right thing. To this person's point, if they were trying to do the right thing, they would issue a vote of no confidence against the speaker and all come together, PAC and progressive, to remove McKeever once and for all. But once again, the progressives has demonstrated that they are not capable of having any moral background in their bones, in their body. They just don't have it in them. And I agree with this person in terms of defectors. They will be committing political suicide. Now, what we need to do as a people is in the next election, get some viable people to run against them. And if you're not a viable individual, stop wasting your little, how much it is to sign up to run, $1,000. Stop wasting your money and watering down the vote and ensuring the incumbents get back in. Because when you have 4 or 5 people running in one constituency for 600 votes, that's exactly what you're going to do. It is time that we take out David Wright. It is time that we take out Barbara Connolly. In West Bay, 2 of you at least, not 2, 3 of you should be in trouble. Start identifying good quality people who are qualified and who, most importantly, have the best interests of the people at hand, and they're not in it for the money. Y'all sign up for this because you needed a job, and now you're trying to give yourself a promotion. I need speakership. I need a ministry. You're not getting promoted yet. You should not be even thinking about it. And those of you who are ready, but oh yeah, I want to run and I'm going to be in talks with the progressives and this one and that one, go sit yourself down. Huh? What are you running for? To lose 5 pounds? I got a treadmill you can come and run on that isn't being used around here. It's just ridiculous. And indeed, I agree, you are committing political suicide. You don't know it yet because you're not that bright. But the writing is on the wall. This person says, how many should be in trouble in Georgetown? Not just those 2. Right. We got Alden needs to go. Y'all had a good choice with Sammy. And if y'all think Sammy needed the money, y'all joking. You know how much money he makes through his law firm? He didn't need the money. Mr. McTaggart? Oh, Jesus. You are just a puppet. The same man who can talk about he's against parties can then jump up and be used by the most fake party in the history of the Cayman Islands. Here in his own words.
Independent Georgetown candidate Roy McTaggart insists he is not the leader of any political group. Good evening, I'm Mona Lisa Tatum. While Mr. McTaggart says he is looking for endorsement from advocacy group Coalition for Cayman, he will not pledge allegiance to any one leader but the country. Cayman 27's Tammy Suleiman has this interview.
I don't look at myself as being emerging as a leader.
Former KPMG chair and chartered public accountant Roy McTaggart says he is frustrated with what he calls divisiveness in the Legislative Assembly.
Hold on now. He's not going to... What? Hold on. I need to pull this in where I can pause it. Divisiveness, which is exactly what he is now creating? Are these people serious? Hold on. Let me pull this in another way so I can pause it, because I want y'all to see how things have certainly changed. Where is this video? No political party. Here we go. Hold on now. Listen.
Independent Georgetown candidate Roy McTaggart insists he is not the leader of any political group. Good evening, I'm Mona Lisa Tatum. While Mr. McTaggart says he is looking for endorsement from advocacy group Coalition for Cayman, he will not pledge allegiance to any one leader but the country.
Hello. He will not pledge allegiance to any one leader but the country? That is a lie.
Cayman 27's Tammy Suleiman has this interview.
I don't look at myself as being emerging as a leader.
Former KPMG chair and chartered public accountant Roy McTaggart says he is frustrated with what he calls divisiveness in the Legislative Assembly.
Do you think, though, that the problem is not necessarily the party system, but perhaps the parties that we have right now? Would you say that that's where the disillusionment lies?
Well, I prefer to categorize it as the party system, because it forces, I think, people and politicians into a certain mindset and into a certain way or positions that might not necessarily be in the best interest of the country.
Thank you, sir. At one point you had it right. The progressives not in the best interest of the country. But look at where we are. Look at what you are pushing on us as part of the progressives' mandate. Huh? How can you change such a fundamental position? And you took that fundamental position when you were C for 4 or C for C or whatever the heck it was called. Now you see the PAC government, a group of independents trying to work together as a team, not a party. And what do? Say, oh, don't trust them because they're not a party. Listen to how the man's dialogue has changed. Now, oh, the party system is what we need in this country, but that is not what he said years ago.
That might not necessarily be in the best interest of the country.
As an independent candidate, he says he is seeking endorsement from political advocacy group Coalition for Cayman. Here at the group's first public meeting, it told the country it is adamantly against political parties.
There are those who are saying if it smells like a rose, it must be a rose. How do you argue that C4C is not a party?
I don't see that at all. They are looking to endorse candidates. They're not looking to dictate to them where they go and what positions they should take.
But Mr.
Yes, well, guess what? You're being dictated to these days. Puppet Master and Lucille Moore dictating to you what you must do. No, sir. This person says the PPM pays high dollar for persons to run to split the vote. Baden Tan rumor, Vincent got paid $26,000 to run and sign up that morning on the 11th hour, and they're still keeping him. We know that they do this. I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt it at all. Seriously. This one says, pull up and rewind. We can post that video separately on social media because y'all need to hear it and hear it and hear it and hear it again. I tell you, listen to people. They will reveal their true position. That's what we're dealing with. Oh, Lord, me done gone into overtime. I didn't even see a message from Chuck, so I'm assuming that on the radio, the feed has been cut, but that's all right, because here we are again. Real Deal says, clean up Cayman. Our own fools helped give it away. Too late to get anything back. Aquina says, I'm so embarrassed as a young Caymanian. It is the elder generation that destroyed Cayman. And I'm sorry to say, my love, but some of the newer ones coming up doing the exact same thing in the world of politics, and I'm disappointed too. Embarrassed. Ms. Ann says, Sandy, we're most grateful for you on this platform. You're the voice of the people, and you are the PPM's biggest fear. Well, I don't know, but I would hope that anyone who does not stand for the right things and does not stand for truth, they should be afraid of not me, but of the people. Because I will give you all the information that you need to make better decisions. And ultimately, nobody goes into that poll with you, the voting poll, but yourselves. And so you have to be prepared to make better decisions based on the information you have before you. And if somebody's track record has demonstrated that they're not about the people's business, it is time for you to make a move. Stop supporting and voting for people because your granny told you to do so. And your mama say, well, he gave us a sofa and some marl outside, so we must support him. And then he sells you down the river and he takes from this country, he or she. Enough is enough. And before I wrap up today, those of you who are interested in running in the next election, and you're a decent person, and don't come to me with your cockamamie stuff now, you know. Because if you're a liar and a cheater currently in your personal life and your business affairs, we don't want you. Get it together. If you believe you have something to contribute to this country, start talking to the people from early. We don't need no 11th hour politicians or wannabe politicians coming out a month or two before election. The people need time to get to know you and to dissect what you're saying. We need to see your level of consistency or not. We need to really see what it is that you are about, and we will be putting you to the task. That's what the people want. Make the necessary sacrifices from now. Because yes, things are changing around here. And we're going to start asking some questions. You want to take McKeever out? Okay. Step up to the plate. Let's have a conversation about how you're going to do that. And let's also have a conversation about your own track record, because guess what? You can't take Mac out if you're just as bad as him. Just that your dirt has been a little bit less public, because he can't behave himself in public because he always drinking, alcoholic, drunk. Some of y'all just as bad as him. It's just that you're not doing it so flagrantly. But we know the rumors. We hear the stories. The women who refuse to work with you because you're a sexual predator too, on the DL. How about that? Step up. Let us get an opportunity to know you. And you know, people are going to be contacting me, but well, this MP did this to me, or this wannabe politician was sexually harassing me, raped me, sexually assaulted me. You know, the people that share those kind of stories with me all the time. This one stole family land. This one hiring this one and that one undercover. They're not helping people in the constituency. Make it all flow. And then we the people will dissect it all and see if you meet the bar or not. One of the reasons they come out last minute is they don't want you to think too hard and too long about who you're putting into office. They're not ready. And so they figure the less time you have to put them under a microscope, the better. One thing McKeever said some time ago, and he was right about that, when he was going to be putting them to task when they were prepared to call, the opposition at the time was prepared to call a vote of no confidence against him. One thing he said is, hold on now, I got to go digging back in your past. The difference is, to Mr. Linford Pearson's credit yesterday, nobody's perfect. Everybody has a past. Everybody has done something that they're not necessarily proud of. But it is when you continue to do it. It is not just your past. It is your character. It is who you are. You can't change because that is who you are. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't a poor decision in the moment. It is fundamentally who you are. And those are the people that we need to stop dead in their tracks. Y'all feel me this morning? We could be doing so much more as a country, but instead we have people who are willing, they see a little opportunity and they're willing to play games for their own personal good. Hear this one. Remember the announcement that John was crossing over to PAC? How many of you realize that this was a plan being put into action? I mean, from the word go, everybody's like, what is this really all about? I was so disappointed to see the Premier and others in the PAC government appearing at that celebration in what appeared to be full support and welcoming him with open arms. In my opinion, that was a part of a plan, and now this is in play. Let me say this, Miss Darlene. There's no honor amongst thieves, and there's no honor amongst a lot of politicians. The first ones that would jump are the ones that we already know about. Juliana, probably John, because their loyalty is not to anybody. It is to position and money. And anybody else who jumps with them. Some of the same ones that were willing to jump before during the election say that they will jump again. They must think that we're not going to protest like we did last time. Cameron, you're so funny. Cameron says, let's start a CMR party and hire Sandy as PR and marketing executive. Child, no. We don't need no more parties in this country. I'm just here to tell y'all the cold, hard truth. Suzette says, listen, Sandy, talk up things, damn. Go on. Because a lot will not tell you. We would never have known if it weren't for you and the job that you're doing. You're leading our country in the know, and I embrace your efforts and boldness. Thank you, Suzette. I really, really appreciate that. Folks, I got to get to court. I'm watching a rape trial with the keenest of eyes, and I want to get there to see what happens today because I think today is going to be a big development in the case. I don't want to talk about it yet, but we're going to soon be in a position to break it down because y'all know how I feel about rapists and abusers. All y'all should be in jail for life if it was up to me. All right. Shall we enjoy the good song that we enjoyed the other day? What was it called again? Well Done. It's just so appropriate. We didn't get blocked last time for playing it, so we're gonna try our luck again today. Enjoy the song and appreciate the words. I should be saying this to the progressives. Well done for trying to tear this country apart yet again. Well done for destabilizing us. Well done for being money hungry and position hungry. And anybody else who goes along with you, well done. But the next election, we come in for you. I hope you know.
All the politicians them. Sure. Inna your face, them a smile up. Behind your back, of money, them a pile up. Try to start your business and them quick for spoil up. Hey, well done, Mr. Politician Man. You done a wonderful job at tear down with country demolition, man. Skibbly bang, well done, Mr. Politician Man. You done such a great job selling out with country with your business plan. Well, you forget a round of applause for all the work you're doing. Decisions where you make will left the country in a ruins, yo. Strictly personal gain you're pursuing, so the tax rate higher than the planes where you're fluing. We gonna make you deal with the IMF, knowing on a backside, none of sugar cane left. The hotels and the beaches, the Spanish them go screeching. Me no know how you do it, but all my office say is well done, Mr. Politician Man. I must congratulate you. Done a wonderful job at tear down with country demolition, man. Skibbly bang, well done, Mr. Politician Man. You done such a great job selling out with country with your business plan. What kind of plan? Which is to keep poverty and unemployment on the rise. Corruption and not to mention the lies. Election are when the tension arise. So you buy with Kentucky, not to mention the fries. Anything to secure your vote, and then you rob the people to secure your boat. We go Thailand where the Chinese own. The whole Jamaica is a Chinese loan. I tell you, well done, Mr. Politician Man. You done a wonderful job at tear down with country demolition, man. Skibbly bang, well done, Miss Politician Lady. You done such a great job selling out with country and you still not pay with. But still if inflation was a test you would have get A+. So when me met the US the exchange rate buck, cause the dollar getting weaker and the solar light bill it would have cheaper. But a JPS you prefer keep your Ebenezer. So you Scrooge from the ghetto people where you starve and every year you buy a better vehicle. The things you do are beat with bad, but still you manage to keep your job. So me I tell you well done, Mr. Politician Man. You done a wonderful job at tear down with country demolition, man. Skibbly bang, well done, Miss Politician Lady. You done such a great job selling out with country. Come in like Humpty Dumpty now. Congratulate them, you know. Yeah, man, give thanks for the effort, you know. Yeah, man, enough things do not go on with, you know. But you them see it still, so we give thanks. Yeah, man. Gangster. Kabaka P.
Hello, I'm Kevin Watler, and this is your CMR Daily Buzz. The Progressives' opposition leader has filed a vote of no confidence against the packed government. They have submitted a document with some 14 points that claim to justify the call for the government to be removed. Despite their points, no one has indicated if they have the two-third majority required to make such a move as required by the Constitution. Visit the Cayman Mall Road website and social media channels for more details on this developing story. Governor Martin Roper has appointed Justice Margaret Ramsey Hale as Chief Justice effective October 26. She takes over from the outgoing Chief Justice, Sir Anthony Smelly, who held the position for nearly 25 years in the Cayman Islands. Justice Ramsey Hale, who is Caymanian, brings extensive legal knowledge and significant leadership and management experience, including as a former Chief Justice in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Offreg is investigating the pricing practices of telecommunications service provider Flow. It has so far confirmed that Flow overcharged all its fixed-line business customers from January 2019 onwards by applying an unapproved rate increase from $30 to $35 per month. At this point in the investigation, Flow has admitted that it failed to comply with the license condition to seek Offreg's approval prior to applying the increased rate, which has resulted in its business customers being overcharged. Offreg has issued Flow with an administrative fine notice. The final determination and agreed course of action will be published by Offreg as soon as it's available. A social media post on Cayman Mall Road led to the Department of Environment responding to the industrial park area on Tuesday, where a blue iguana was spotted. Once captured, they found it was an adult male blue iguana that had a tag from the small population living within the Queen Elizabeth II Botanic Park. It appears the blue iguana hitched a ride with a Botanic Park vehicle that arrived at the location in Industrial Park around an hour before the iguana was discovered. Luckily, the large blue had a safe ride to town. It was swiftly captured and returned to the park without any injury. The Cayman Islands Public Library Service announces the resumption of the ever-popular Cayman Islands Book Fair after a 2-year hiatus due to COVID-19. The event is scheduled to take place at the Georgetown Library on Saturday, September 24th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The 2023 National Heroes Day nomination period has opened and closes at midnight Sunday, October 16th. The 2023 National Heroes Day theme is volunteerism and charitable services. Online nominations forms with eligibility criteria and categories are now available on the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage website. East End Heritage Day is next Friday, September 30th. Organizers say experience the best of East End with traditional food, craft demonstrations, games and activities for everyone. Also, browse craft stalls and enjoy the treats that the district's Heritage Committee have in store for visitors for this special event.
Stormwatch 2022 is brought to you by Home Gas, your propane experts before, during, and after the storm.
The National Hurricane Center is extremely busy this week, tracking 5 systems. There's a system just about to come off of Africa, and once it comes off of the African continent, it's expected to track north, so we're not too worried about that one. Gaston is not a storm that we're worried about. Now, the Azores might have some impact, but it's expected to stay out there until it goes away. Another tropical system is Fiona, which is a dangerous major hurricane heading towards Bermuda as a Category 4 hurricane. It's not good news for those in Bermuda at all. There's also a tropical wave between Africa and the Leeward Islands. Now, in the next week, it's something to watch and see what it does. Development over time is possible, but we have some time to keep watching it to see what happens. The tropical system that we're more concerned about, that is going to impact the northwestern part of Venezuela, northeastern Colombia, and the ABC island chain later this week. Those in Jamaica and the Cayman Islands need to pay very close attention to its progress. It's a good idea to plan for a possible impact. More will be known about the system in the next few days to see how significant that threat is. Now for your CMR weather update is brought to you by WG Charters. Sunrise at 6:14, scattered thunderstorms expected. The day heats up to the high 80s, but it will feel hotter than that when the high temperatures at 86 degrees Fahrenheit and the humidity is at 74% like the forecast calls for. It will feel around 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The winds east-southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour and the sun sets at 6:21. At nighttime, the temperature falls to the low 80s. Looking forward, a typical summer pattern of hot days, warm nights with scattered showers is expected. CMR weather updates are brought to you by WG Charters. They offer private boat trips for a great price, and we encourage you to support them. Now for some regional and international news. Fiona strengthens to a Category 4 hurricane Wednesday after lashing the Turks and Caicos Islands and is forecast to head towards Bermuda later this week. The storm was blamed for causing at least 4 direct deaths as it passed through the Caribbean. The Belize government says it will continue to conduct regular patrols along its border with Guatemala after a joint patrol including members of the Belize Defense Force and Coast Guard encountered marine vessels belonging to the Guatemalan Armed Forces over the weekend. Belize and Guatemala have had a long-running border dispute, with Guatemala claiming the whole or part of Belize since 1940. Reggae artist Skip Marley, the grandson of Bob Marley, was forced to postpone a show in Canada after he was denied entry into the country on Tuesday. Unconfirmed reports are that 26-year-old Skip was denied entry due to his COVID-19 vaccination status. Canada currently requires all people to be vaccinated when entering the country. In a post on social media on Tuesday, the young Marley revealed that the Canadian border officials refused him entry into the country and presented him with documents to return to the United States. The Federal Reserve made history on Wednesday, approving a third consecutive 75 basis points hike in an aggressive move to tackle inflation. The supersized hike, which was unfathomable by markets just months ago, takes the central bank's benchmark lending rate to a new target range of 3% to 3.25%. That's the highest the Fed funds rate has been since the global financial crisis in 2008. Wednesday's decision marks the Fed's toughest policy move since the 1980s to fight inflation. It will also likely cause economic pain for millions of businesses and households by pushing up the cost of borrowing for things like homes, cars, and credit cards. That's it for now on the Daily Buzz. Thank you for joining me. Please stay safe, and God bless.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.